You already rolling.
Yeah.
ST.
Oh, we rolling?
Ooh, yep.
Wait.
Nah, you good. It's already in there. Already in there. Nah, it's STB and we back with another one. It's Gavin, it's big.
That's your boy Dusky, man.
Keon TCG, that's the Creative Genius if you ain't know what that
Creative
means. And
Genius.
today we got a very special guest, a returning guest, actually. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I go by Ciera.
Credit lady.
Credit.
D.
Yes, all the things.
Okay. So, you feel me? And you got us by, a few years.
I got y'all by a lot of years.
Not a lot.
That many.
Nah.
How old are y'all?
26.
Yeah, 26.
26. I'm 11 years older than you.
A few years then.
Bruh.
It's not
Just
too
on the
crazy.
grand scale of what's going on in the world, it's a lot of, you feel me, 26 is
Okay.
mature nowadays, right?
Understandable.
But it is a gap there, and I feel like our age group, like we in the like button our head stage of things in life, like 26 to 30,
sure.
maybe not even 30, but it may be a little bit more than that. But right now it's just like seeing what's working, seeing what's not working, and I feel like a lot of what we going through right now is messing our credit up. It's messing our credit up. And it's like, what do you think for an average 26-year-old that don't ruin their credit? What's the proper steps to take as far as getting, not even trying to be an entrepreneur, just getting your credit back into a...
And if you did ruin your credit, is there hope? Like, is there a return on the...
Because we ruining out here.
Or is there a point of no return?
Absolutely. First of all, credit is probably the most important piece to generational wealth, in my opinion. So what I see a lot with not just in your 20s, but also in your 30s and your 40s and your 50s, because some people just never figure it out, is that they try to do everything but fix the credit. So it's like, let me just go get a better job. Let me try to make more money. Let me go to a buy here, pay here place so I don't have to go to the dealership because they denied me and now my interest rate is higher and now I'm paying more. So credit should always just be the main focus if you're trying to get your finances in order. If your credit is bad, there is hope. There is absolutely hope. There are so many laws out there to protect you as a consumer, right? And people don't know that. So you think, well, I know that I really did not pay this account back. So there's nothing I can do about it. No, you can absolutely get those accounts off your credit. But I think for me, like, if I was in my 20s, 30s, 40s, and my credit was bad, I would first and foremost create a budget. Because you need to know how much money you have coming in versus how much money you have going out. You need to know, can I afford the life that I'm living right now? And if you cannot, because a lot of people have more money going out than they do coming in. So if you can't, then you need to cut some things back. You need to cut back. You might have to move in with your parents for a season.
That's what people don't want to hear.
They got to understand that.
Yeah,
how you going to get ahead if you don't have the mind to be like, it's okay to take a step back? What's the worst that could happen? Somebody be like, oh, you live with your mom?
Right.
Okay, and you have your own place, but you broke.
That's a big thing. And you know what else, too? Like, I noticed this more with women my age. It'll be somebody else, like you purchasing things on somebody else's behalf or in your name, but for someone else, and that be what mess your credit up.
Yep.
And
Never cosign.
Yeah, but see, a lot of people don't know that at this age. They think it's something cool to do.
And a lot of people don't know how to say no.
Yeah.
So that's a whole nother topic, because you got people that come to you with sob stories like, oh, my car broke down and I don't have a way to get to work and, blah, blah, blah. But what I've learned, at my mature age is that that's a you problem. That's not a me problem. I mean,
we was talking about it with Moses, and it's like a lot of people, you say that's a you problem, you got to let people fail. You know what I'm saying? I can't keep being your crutch, because one day I'm going to be a crutch myself, and we both going to be on rock bottom. You know what I'm saying?
I've learned in therapy that you are not anyone's savior.
Right.
That's God's job. Like, people go through things. Like, we all have trials and tribulations, right? It is for our good. It is for us to learn. It is for us to grow. If someone is always coming and saving you and always coming and stepping in and solving your problems, you're never going to learn the lesson.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you're never going to grow, and you're never going to become the best version of yourself. Like, you have to go through that. I talk about all the time how, you know, when I was broke and I was mismanaging my money, and one day, you know, I called my brother and he was like, don't you got a dude living with you? I needed to hear that. That turned me up.
You told me that before.
Yeah. And it's like, had he given me that money, I would have came right back and asked for some more. And some more and some more. So I think that that's what people don't understand. You don't have to co-sign for anyone. If you worked on your credit and you got it to the level that it's at, don't give anyone the opportunity to take that from you. Because credit is so powerful. I became a millionaire off of credit. It's powerful. Like,
see, but it's a lot of people out here that'll manipulate, right? Like, you know, I've been wanting to talk to you about Anthony Edwards for a minute too. Anthony, you know Anthony Edwards?
no.
Young hooper, like 22 years old, millionaire now. You feel me? All the money in the world. He can't keep it in his pants. And it's women, older women out at that. Like,
Taking advantage.
and they taking advantage of him. And that's my thing with young people. Like, you would, now what if he get traumatized from that and now he don't trust nobody that's trying to give him advice no more?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a lot of hard things to navigate at this age is all I would say for real, for real.
What
Especially with older women.
to
Y'all
the
should be
point
talking
of
to older women.
Why you think that? Not saying we should. I'm not saying we should. I'm just saying.
I just feel like, never mind, scratch that. What were you about to
Go
say?
ahead. Y'all can,
Because y'all could be a mentor low key.
Oh, okay.
I could be getting
as like a
game.
mentor, right?
nah,
All in one.
all of the above. D.
A, B, C, and D.
I guess, you know, everyone got their own story. I'll leave that.
Okay.
So I was going to go back to the point of borrowing money, because I'm somebody who, like, I don't like to ask, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it'd be like situations where it should be hard, and I still don't like to ask. So how do you feel like in when predicaments where you are falling on hard times and you don't necessarily got credit as an option? Do you think it's good to ask people, or you think that's still like a crutch, kind of?
I think if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And that's why credit should be the number one priority. Because now you never have to borrow from anyone ever again. There's no limit. So it's like, okay, well, what if the credit isn't a factor? Make it a factor.
Make it a factor.
Like, it should be top priority. You got your budget, then you fix your credit. Like, literally. And I'm not saying, you know, you can't ask anyone for help, because we all, you know what I'm saying, we all need help. But the reality is no one owes you anything.
Facts.
So it's like, if they say no, now what?
Yeah.
You know?
So what's like some game you can give them as far as maximizing credit, or like even just starting on the right path to get in a position where you is always ready?
Yeah, I would say first and foremost, a lot of people get so stuck on like the negative items on their credit report that they don't build credit at all. Do y'all have any open active credit cards right now?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Okay.
I think I got like 6.
You got 6? Good. Yeah. So you should at least have between 4 and 10 open active accounts reporting every 30 days. Now, they don't all have to be credit cards, right? It can be an auto loan, a student loan, and you know what I mean? Like, but having those accounts that are reporting every 30 days, because that's 65% of your credit score.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So your utilization, which is, are your cards maxed out, or are you keeping them under, you know, the 10% threshold?
I was at a good point, but I was at a good, and that's my thing. Like, I was doing so good, and they gave me a lot, and I used it.
What you use it on?
Chase?
No, like what did you spend the
Oh,
money
who was
on?
I spending money on? Dang. I got to a point where I was using my credit card for everything I was spending money on. And I was just,
I've been there.
And another thing I do that I think is probably not good, I take a percentage of all the money I make and save it. So I could pay my credit cards off with the money I done saved. I'm not going to do that though.
So tell me this. What's your interest rate on your credit card?
I don't even know that.
How much interest are you making on that money sitting in the bank? None.
Like, it's not in a bank, but it's like
Okay.
0.004.
Yeah, like none. So while that money is sitting there, it's just literally just sitting there, but you're accumulating interest every single month on that credit card. So you really don't have no money saved, if we being honest.
Damn.
It's nice to look at though.
It is.
Like I got him.
But it doesn't do anything for you. And that's why like with Rich Credit Academy, it's geared around building wealth, right? So it's credit based.
Hold on, what is that? Rich Credit
Oh,
Academy.
I'm sorry. Rich Credit Academy is my community, and it's basically, it's a wealth building community. So I do motivational Monday calls every Monday morning because we have to change the mindset, right? And then I do wealth building calls on Tuesday. So on Tuesday nights, I might teach you how to read your credit report, how to build your credit, just different things that you need to know about credit. Then the next week I may do life insurance because that's a part of building wealth. The next week I'll do investments because that's a part of building wealth. We teach business credit, how to start a business, how to get business funding, so on and so forth. How to flip real estate, how to get into the real estate game, how to purchase your first home. So all of these things are in the academy where it's basically, I'm just teaching you how to build wealth, how to budget, how to save, but I'm going to fix your credit for free while we're building your wealth.
But that's dope.
Yeah, so it's like
that.
we're building the foundation, and the credit repair is just like the cherry.
And you were saying that y'all focus on what?
We focus on wealth building.
Building wealth.
Nah, y'all was saying, I kind of like deterred the conversation.
Oh,
You was,
sorry.
what were you saying before that?
Like I got this money saved and I don't want to spend it on my credit cards to get the balance down.
So there's two reasons why you need to go ahead and pay that card off.
And should I pay it all off too at that?
Pay it, get it under 10%. Yeah, like 10% of your limit, pay it down.
Oh, okay.
But the first reason is because it's dragging your credit score. The second reason is because you're not actually saving any money because that interest is probably like 29% on that credit card, right? But the third reason is if you pay that card off, you can get business funding. And if you get business funding, you can get 0% interest for 18 months. So now you can max the business credit card out. It's not going to report to your personal credit. It's not going to ding your credit score. And you can use that money to make money. So you can leverage that card to make some money. And then you got 18 months to pay it off and not have to pay any interest at all.
I think it's tough when we start, because I was going to ask you about leveraging credit. And I think it's tough when you start talking about that to like, not me in particular, but just our age group. Like we don't necessarily know how to leverage credit, especially when it comes to like real estate or, any assets for real. Like it's kind of like a scary step to take.
I agree with that. And I actually was talking about that the other day, how us as a people, Black folks, when we don't understand something, we just ignore it.
Right.
We be like, look, that sound good, but I'm just going to keep on doing this over
That's a
here.
fact.
Yeah.
Because that make my brain hurt even thinking about it because you don't understand it. But I'm a walking testimony that it works. You just got to find something to leverage. You know what I'm saying? That's going to work for you, that you're interested in, that you're passionate about. So, and that's why I do this whole foundational thing, because when you're building wealth, it can't just be on one thing. You got to make sure everything is solid. So 70% of Americans don't have $1,000 saved up right now for emergency.
And technically, I would be a part of that, right?
Technically, you would.
I owe so much of the credit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's like, that's a big piece of it too. Like, we don't have an emergency fund. We have all of this debt. We don't have life insurance. We don't have any investments. So our money, like, even when my mentees and the people in the community, when they get their $1,000 emergency fund, I make them put it in a high yield savings account. So the money is at least accumulating interest while it's sitting there. Mm-hmm. I don't want your money just sitting somewhere it's not making no money. Yeah. You know what I mean?
How would I obtain the high yield savings account?
You would just go to like SoFi, Capital One. Who else do one?
Well, what is that? A high yield saving account?
So it's basically a savings account that you put your money in, and it accrues interest. So it's kind of like you invested, but it's not in the stock market.
Okay.
Yeah. And
you
you earn interest on your money.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, if it's just sitting in your regular savings account, like you said, it's making 0.0. You might get a penny.
Yeah, like a penny on $10.
Exactly.
Or something like that.
Or a penny on 1,000. Mm-hmm. It'd be crazy.
Now, you was talking about pay the credit off. Mm-hmm. Get it under 10%. And I was confused. You were saying under 10% utilization or just under the limit?
That is the utilization.
Oh, okay.
So your credit, whatever credit limit they give you, let's say they give you $300. If you spend all 300 of that, then you're at 100% utilization. Like, you've maxed it out.
Okay.
That's going to drop your score just as much as a 30-day late payment would.
Okay.
So you want to make sure that you keep it low. This is another thing. If you max out all your credit cards, you'll be like, okay, I don't have any derogatories. I don't have nothing bad on my credit. So I'm going to go apply and get another credit card. They're going to be like, no, because you're using up all this credit over here. We can't trust that you're actually going to be able to pay us, because it looks like you're living off of these credit cards. So when the lenders pull your credit, they're looking, is this person close to bankruptcy? You know what I'm saying? Should we be scared? Should we lend you any more money? So I see that a lot. People come to me and they want business funding, and I can't do nothing for them because their cards are maxed out.
Wouldn't that happen? Let's say they not maxed out, but you have 6 lines of credit, a couple auto loans, a couple credit cards, whatever. Wouldn't they factor that in when you trying to buy real estate? Like, you got all this open credit. Mm-hmm.
It's going to go to your debt to income.
Oh, and they factor debt to income in when you buying property. Okay.
Yep, and that's how they'll tell you how much you can afford.
Okay, so you said you pay off your credit, then you can go apply for some business funding, and you can get an 18-month window where you're not paying no interest. Yep. So let's say I take that business funding. Let's say it's $2,500. It's credit though. Mm-hmm. 1, how could I liquidate it if I wanted to? 2, could I put it in a high yield savings account for the 18 months and make anything substantial off of that?
So if you do like a line of credit, that's just like a bank account, right? So you could go to the bank and just take that out. You can write checks off of it. So you can literally take that money, put it in a high yield savings, and just let it sit there for 12 months and just allow it to make money. Now, you are still paying the monthly payments on that every single month. So I would recommend you to do something with the money that's going to make you like flip it, double it. You know what I mean? Versus just kind of letting it sit there. Mm-hmm. What was the other question?
How to liquidate it, but you were saying you could just write a check though, right? Okay.
Yep, or you could just go to the bank and take the money out. Or if it's a credit card, you can run it through like your Stripe or like your merchant account. I think it's a company called Plastic that you can liquidate it through. It's a lot of different ways to liquidate. And people don't like credit cards, like, oh, because I can't get the cash. Like, yes, you can.
So when you were, first getting in the game, you got your credit right, you got a decent amount of money. What was the first thing you went and did to flip it?
That's a good one too.
That is a good one because I got it out the mud.
Yeah.
I didn't I got rich off of credit, but I didn't use credit initially. Like I was grinding at first. I would say once I started leveraging credit, I started buying Airbnbs. I got some cars, put them on Turo. I got into real estate heavy. I leveraged my credit for the insurance company in Florida. So those are some of the things that I got into once I started leveraging credit.
You never got to no point where you was close to maxing your credit out though?
My personal credit?
Either.
Yeah.
Okay.
So once I fixed my credit to purchase my house, as soon as I got the house, like that day, I went and got like 10 credit cards. Thirsty. Because I never had credit. I'm like, oh, if I can get a house, I can get anything.
Wait, so you can get 10 credit cards at once?
Yeah.
How you do that?
Hard inquiry.
Like a motherfucker. Blaming.
So, no, I just went to, like, I was getting, first of all, I didn't know what I was doing, okay? I was new to the credit game. This was like in 2013. I went to Walmart and the lady at the checkout was like, do you want a credit card? And I was like, it was like a light bulb went off. Like, yes, I want a credit card. She gave me a $300 limit. I turned around and went and spent that whole $300 while I was still in the store.
Before you got out the store?
I didn't even have a card, y'all. Like, I had the little piece of paper they give you.
Crazy.
So then I went to Target. I did the same thing. Then I went to Macy's. I did the same thing. I went to JCPenney's. I went to Best Buy.
You went crazy.
Listen, I ain't never had nothing.
Dang.
I didn't know what I was doing. It felt good, too. I was so happy.
Then 2-3 months later, they like,
Man, I was in $10,000 worth of credit card debt.
Damn.
And guess what? I couldn't afford it. Like, I could afford the minimum payments, but the interest was kicking my butt. It felt like I couldn't get the cards down
one
because
step
that
forward,
interest.
2 steps back.
So how do you get out of that situation?
Yeah, 10 bands. That's what I'm talking about too.
Yeah. Listen, I've been there. So what I did was, and I was married at the time, so he and I, like, we had combined debt. And we worked 2 jobs, like, and grinded, paid it off. It was the worst. I used to sit in my office at work and I would listen to like Dave Ramsey and like the Budgetnista and like all these budgeting experts, and I would just listen to people. And what really got me through was like listening to other people who had more debt than me. I'm like, oh, if they did this, I can do it. They be on there like, I just paid off $205,000.
Yeah, I'll be needing to hear that too.
I thought my shit was bad.
I need to hear somebody had it worse than I
Yes, because that makes you believe like if they did it, my stuff ain't that bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, just started grinding, created my budget, and then created a debt snowball. So I lined up all my credit cards from the smallest to the largest, and I paid off the smallest first. It was a Capital One $300 card. Boom, knocked that out. And then I took my minimum payment from that Capital One and rolled it into the next card. And then when that was paid off, I took both of those and rolled it into the next card until I just started paying them off. And it felt so good. This is how I fell in love with budgeting and credit. Like, this is really like the makings of Credit Lady C, because it felt so good, like, accomplishing these tasks. Like, okay, I'm really doing this. I'm sticking to it. Like, I got my budget. I stopped getting my hair done. I cut off my cable. I stopped shopping.
I don't know.
No.
About that.
Gotta sacrifice.
Delayed gratification.
So
That's really
I'm
what
gonna
it's
just
about.
eat. I'll eat next week.
Yeah.
That's crazy, but I feel it though.
Well, I mean, you know, grocery shopping, meal prepping. These are the things
Oodles and
nobody
noodles.
wants to do.
Yeah.
And if you wanna live like nobody else, you gotta live like nobody else. If you do what everybody else is doing, you won't get the results that everyone else is getting. Like,
super
I am a top 1% earner at this point, but I had to go through all of that in order to have the discipline to live like nobody else. Now I can do what I want, but everything is still in moderation. But even after that, like, we paid off our cars. We paid off everything. The only debt that we had was our house. And when I started making this credit money, I got right back in the same situation.
But this time it's bigger limits.
Wait, what?
Man.
Listen,
I low-key-
I haven't met a person like how we talk about listening to them. I haven't met a person who had the debt that I had. Like now, I gotta tell my story.
Man.
Hey. And Keon talk about that. He been talking about that for years, like a financial thermostat.
Yes.
So you could be playing with 100K, but if you had debt when you was at 10K, you gonna have that here too.
Exactly.
It's that discipline. That
Yeah.
Man, see, I need to hear that because I gotta get my shit together.
Listen, man,
Okay.
and it's okay. Like I feel like people should have these conversations because everybody try to make it seem like, oh, it was never me or it'll never be me.
Mm-hmm.
All along, like it could be you.
Yeah.
Things happen.
And it's about, not only do things happen, but people don't, since we don't talk about it, you're not gonna recognize what it looked like to, like the signs of, okay, in a few you're gonna be this. Because when people is showcasing them signs, they be quiet about it, and especially with the Black community, we don't really be vocal or open about finances for real.
No, because we all need to be looking like we getting it.
Right. Spending the most. That's really sad.
It's very sad. It's very sad because being in a financial space, I see people who are really broke, like really struggling, and they got to keep appearance. And that's a hard place to be in.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know I'll be like, yo, I can't do it right now. You know, I just can't. I don't care how much money I'm bringing in because if more is going out, I can't do
That
it.
makes sense.
So are you still budgeting?
I budget, yes. How about
Shout out
this?
to that.
How about this? 2025, I put myself back on payroll.
Ooh.
I pay myself $3,301 every 2 weeks. So I'm living off of like a little less than $7,000 a month. Everything else stays in my business account.
Gee, that's good.
I am so
That's great
disciplined,
discipline.
and it
Yeah,
feels
that's
so
great
good
discipline.
because since I started my business, I just was doing what I want. I stopped budgeting. That's how I got back in the position.
Right.
So
Damn.
it was, I think it was January or July 2022. My assistant, like I just gave her complete control. And one day I looked at the budget or the expenses and I was like, yo, it's more money going out than what came in. And that's another thing. Don't ever give anyone power over your finances. I was so busy. I was traveling. I was on a flight every other week. I was outside because I knew the money was coming in.
Right.
I just felt like I was so lit. I was untouchable. I'll never be broke again.
Mm-hmm.
This girl wasn't even telling me like, oh no, it's getting bad.
Did
Like,
she knew or she wasn't paying attention?
she
either?
was paying the bills.
Like
She
that's
knew.
her job to
That's
know.
her job. Yeah.
So she didn't care.
No, she didn't care.
Dang. That's her life on the line too. So she
No,
tripping.
yeah,
that's
If she get fucked up, I'm fucked up.
Exactly.
I
but
think
that
about
goes
that.
to show you how nobody cares about you but you.
yeah.
This is why you gotta stay
Just saying
ready.
that shit.
Yeah.
You have to stay ready. Because I say this all the time, but people be like, are you okay? What you gonna do if I'm not?
Right. Ain't nothing you can do.
What you gonna do?
You just want to know. You just want to be in somebody's
Exactly.
business. I think about that a lot because taking it back to the NBA, it's young athletes like 22, 23 up for $300 million contracts. And a few of them is like, nah, I'm going to represent myself. I don't want no agent. What would you say about that? Because they're going to get the money. You got to pay them the max contract. Like all they got to do is perform a certain level and they getting that money.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm going to cut the agent out. Why I got to pay you 5% or 3%? You know what I'm saying? And I kind of agree with them on that.
I understand that, but they need a financial advisor.
Okay.
I deal with athletes right now who have went broke quick, fast, more so in football than basketball. But they be doing what I was doing because you never had nothing. So you get the money. You like, oh, we outside. I'm flying you. I'm flying everybody. I was flying everybody out. Like, imagine that level. You know what I'm saying? And the money, how fast the money is going. So they may not need an agent, but they need a financial advisor for sure. They need someone to say, I'm taking half of this money and I'm investing it. I'm going to set you up a trust. I'm going to, you know what I mean? Like,
Should I pay somebody to monitor the agent now though? Like, how far do that go? Like, it's your job to watch him. He ain't doing nothing with the money.
I still think you need to keep an eye on your own money.
Okay, read every
The
contract.
most successful people know what's going on with their money. Like, there should be no one who just has complete control over your finances and you just don't know. Ever.
I agree. Because the moment I realize that you don't know what I'm doing with your money, not that I'm going to take it, but I'm going to realize it.
Yeah.
And it's going to feel a little bit different. Like, all right, I'm working for somebody that's he not that competent. I did want to ask you, though, because you said you was married at the time that you was going through a lot of, like, your debt. Do it make it easier or harder being in a relationship and having combined finances? I ain't asking with no inside knowledge or none of that. I just want to hear from you.
I would say that 2 incomes are better than one.
Right.
So if 2 people are working, then the debt is going to come down quicker.
Okay.
For sure.
Would you recommend joint accounts?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're married, you should have joint bank accounts.
Why?
I gotta keep
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because you're one. A house divided will not stand.
Not divided, but if I got a little tuck,
Why are you keeping your money from your spouse?
See,
you said though, right? If I stay prepared, I ain't got to get prepared.
Yeah, but why? Okay, so why are you marrying a person that you don't trust with your finances? You that's not the person you're supposed to marry.
but what if y'all like making money separately, doing separate things?
This is the thing. So I feel like this. When me and my husband got married, I ain't have nothing, he ain't have nothing. Okay, we was both broke. We didn't even have jobs. We met at a call center. We was making like $7 an hour.
Damn.
So we were broke. We were 18. But when we got married, we had one bank account. Both of our direct deposits went into that account. I would pay all of the bills out of that. He had access to the account. We budgeted together. He knew what the budget was. I knew what the budget was. Like, when we saved an emergency fund, when we saved $10,000, when we saved $30,000, like, we both know what's going on with this money. So
I ain't mad at
we're
that.
working together, not against each other.
Yeah.
I don't need a secret stash of money just in case I gotta leave him.
And then you got like accountability at the same time.
Yeah, like, you should be on the same page. And then, like, so, like, we were in church, we were tithing. So, like, God was really blessing our finances, for real, for real. So that oneness is important when you married to somebody.
So let's say that, not that you don't trust them, but let's say they spending may get a little out of control here and there. And you, not that you expect it, but you just want to be prepared in the case that they spend or they drain the account and it ain't no more money to spend in there. Y'all like getting close to the end of the budget.
Yeah.
Why would it be anything wrong with having some personal, individual money?
So we did allowances. So where, like, I had a certain amount to spend for the
Okay.
week and he
I
had
see
a
what
certain
you're
amount to
saying.
spend for the week. I would normally take that out in cash. And then that kind of eliminated that.
You right.
Yeah.
That's a level of trust. Yeah, though.
Discipline.
And trust too.
And
Like,
trust, yeah.
But it's okay to have a joint account and then just have like your own like accounts on the side. That's cool.
I could see myself doing that.
Yeah, as long as, like, okay, instead of me taking the money out in cash, I just send it over to these separate accounts where this is your money, this is my money. But I do think that a house divided doesn't stand. So I feel like your finances should be together. You and your spouse should trust each other enough.
Now, do you believe that same thing? Let's say your spouse is acquiring debt on their own. And now that's your responsibility too? That's tough though. You earned that. You earned that on your own.
It's tough.
Or they might have did that because I know women that they in debt now because of, like I said, they, buying stuff for their ex, putting their name on stuff for they, You know, so they not with the person now, but they still dealing with the repercussions of that. Let's say I get with that woman, you in debt from your last relationship. I'm probably gonna argue on the side that that's not my responsibility.
That's definitely not your responsibility.
Right.
If she's bringing over debt from a past relationship. But this is why he need to have his credit right and she need to have her credit right. Because that way, if he's accumulating debt or if she's accumulating debt, it's on their own credit. Mm-hmm. Now, when you're married, I mean, your credit is your credit. It's still individual. There is no married people credit. Like, people think when they get married now, you know, my credit is going to reflect their credit. It doesn't work like that.
1,200 credit score now.
Yeah, like, no. But
1,200.
I do believe, though, with the credit cards and things like that, still this is hard, and not to be like personal. But if I had to do it again, I would let their credit be their credit and my credit be my credit.
Instead of allowing what they doing to impact your credit.
Yeah, and you can combine both of those philosophies. Like the one you were talking about earlier, where the money is together and your credit is still your credit, but then like y'all still got y'all system. Like, okay, we gonna take this much to do the snowball effect.
Yeah.
You doing it, I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I feel like those can work together.
Yeah, I think two things can be true, and then it's all about communication. So if a person is out here accumulating debt, y'all have to be able to have that conversation. Like, hey,
You gotta chill out.
what's up?
Yeah.
And then if they don't listen to you, then it's like, well, you on your own, because I try to tell you.
And that mean like we might not be able to date every week. Mm-hmm. You know, it might be an every month kind of thing, or we might not be dating at all. Let's try to go this 6-month stretch. I really think that that's the biggest thing now. Like, people just don't know how to be partners in this day and age.
Yeah, I think you can date at home.
You can, though.
Like, I don't know. The world is different. So, I mean, a movie.
As long as y'all enjoying each other.
Yeah,
That's
like,
the purpose
it doesn't
of the date.
have to be. I don't understand, like, the women who are all about, like, the material or where you're taking me, or I don't understand that for real.
It just go back to like what we was talking about, like with black people. You see somebody else doing it, I'm gonna try to keep up. Like, couples be doing that nowadays. And
Social media
yeah,
it's ruined us.
that's really a foul thing. Like, you.
Yeah.
I remember I seen Keon say one time, if you're not using social media to get ahead, then you damn near digressing. Like, it ain't really no point in being that personal or sharing that much personal stuff on social media if you're not getting no benefit out of it.
Exactly.
And I think a lot of people, like 99% or 9 out of 10 people, fall into that category where you using social media the wrong way.
Social media is a drug, honestly.
Real life.
People are addicted to social media like they're addicted to drugs and alcohol. Mm-hmm. And I know people with thousands of followers, way more followers than me. They're not making no money.
They spending money to keep that image up.
Yeah, because they just post cute pictures. I think I was talking to Moses about this, but it's just like, there are people who go out to eat and they get all dressed up and they post like a cute picture and they get all these followers and all these likes, but they be broke. And like, I just don't have time. That's why I get tired of like social media, because like, I don't have time for that.
Same.
I don't want to get on the internet and flex.
Ain't no need. Like, I was just talking, y'all know Branham?
Mm-hmm.
We just sitting here talking. He has an uncle who's up $45 million.
Damn.
Bro, like, you would never see him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he not on social media at all, and he doing that. So, like, that go to show, like, you really don't need social media at all.
Bro, I know so many people just that done been up, and not no millionaires, but let's say you at $50,000 at 21. When I was 21 and the people like us, we was 21, 50,000 was a lot to have at that time. I know people that was at that point, spent 15,000 on grills and another 20 on cars, and it's like, looking back, hindsight is 2020. Like, oh, of course I shouldn't have bought that. But in the moment, like it'd be something like it's almost like a magnet, like pulling you to that.
I feel like that's just a lack of financial literacy.
Financial discipline.
Yeah. And see, you got a ton of financial discipline, so you could look at that stuff and be like, I'm cool. Or I don't mind spending this. I'm going to get the same thing out of it. I think it's just most people just don't have that for real, bro.
I know people who are supposedly like these financial experts and they still do the same thing.
That's crazy.
No, shout out to A-Mob, shout out to T, all it like, I be hearing a lot about y'all. You know, y'all got 100,000 out on the gram. You don't got 100,000 in the bank. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of people out there that's putting up that front. And that's another thing too. Like when I think about how much financial literacy our community lacks, it's easy to sell to us. And I think a lot of black people be taking advantage of other black people. Yes. I know this my image. I know it's gonna sell to you. You gonna think it's, and I'm doing what I say I'm doing. So you gonna buy this course for $30. Or
I know people like that, like in real life.
That's sick.
And don't have, and I'm so like transparent with everything that I go through. Like I will talk about how I was this entrepreneur and had all these businesses, but I had more money going out than I had coming in. I don't have no problem saying that because I'm just a real person. There are people who are selling courses and things like that right now, mentorships, who don't got $5,000 in the bank. Like, you're charging someone for more than what you have, like literally sitting in the bank right now, and you're supposed to make them wealthy.
That'd be my thing. Like, cause I wanna get to a point where I teach what I do, but I'm not in a place, one, financially, but even like just systematically in ordering processes to where I could confidently go and try to tell somebody about it because I'm not even like, I mean, I'm good at what I do, but this shit ain't running how it's supposed to.
And I ain't trying to coach you how to get here.
I want you to be.
But you can't teach out of desperation either, and that's what a lot of these coaches do. Yeah. When their bag get low, they be like, "I'm gonna drop a course, or I'm gonna, teach a mentorship."
Right.
But for real, they're so stressed out in their own financial situation, they can't give you the best. They can't give you really what you need.
Right.
So they just put this together so they can get this money, and now you stuck because you didn't pay this money and you really don't have anything to show for it. That's one side of it. The other side of it is people get attached or they get brung in by the lifestyle marketing, and they get brung in with, how much money you're making, but they don't really have the work ethic to do it.
Right.
That's why I don't like coaching. That's why with the mentorship, with Rich Credit Academy, it's very cheap. Like anybody can afford it. And I can baby step you through building wealth and changing your mindset. Because when someone pays a large amount of money, they're expecting you to change their life. But if you don't have the mindset to change your own situation, it's not gonna happen. Like I'm successful because I have that drive, right? If you tell me something, I'm gonna go do it. So when I talk about when I was broke and I didn't have no money, I wanted to buy a house. So I went and fixed my credit, right? Because I was driven to buy a house. Now that I have my house, I got all this credit card debt. I'm going to work 2 jobs because I'm driven to get out of this credit card debt. Some people just have that drive and some people don't.
Yeah.
So you can't pay your way to success unless you're an angel investor. Yeah. And you leverage your credit to give someone else some money and let them build it up for you. But
I think people they try to skip steps. Like they want the result, but they don't really want what it takes to get the result. And then a lot of times, let me ask you this. Do you think in order to get to where you at, do you think you have to go through those those hard times where you got nothing, where you down bad and you really just grind it out, discipline? Like, do you think that side is mandatory in order to get to the wealth?
No.
No?
I don't think that's mandatory because it really depends on who you are as a person. If you can learn from other people's mistakes, you are so far ahead of everyone else. But I'm a person who got to bump my own head. My brother, he's so smart. he been telling me stuff for years. I'd be like, yeah. Now, if I would have just listened to him, I would have been like, you know what I mean, so much better off. But I'm one of the people. So my friends say I like to play with fire and hope I don't get burnt.
Yeah.
I'm one of those type of people. So
too.
it's like,
I feel
you can
that.
be very driven, you can be blase blah, you can be all these things, but then you also have this other side. And I think we all have that. But I'm a person also that I need to depend on God, so he keeps me humble. It's always something going on in
Shout
my
out
life.
to that. Right.
Yeah. God be like, all right, listen, I'm going to let you make this money, but you're going to have a whole bunch of other stuff going on.
That's it gonna come with
Because
it.
I need you to depend on me. I don't want you to get this money and the money be an idol. And for a while, the money was an idol. I just felt untouchable. And you go through that. So
Gotta be
now the
brought
money
back.
is just the money. Like,
Yeah.
We was talking about people that do lifestyle marketing, people that sell not necessarily a gimmick, but they almost manipulating through their sales tactics, and we are the most susceptible to that. And something that I, just to try to avoid people that's, you know, possibly trying to sell me something that's not really gonna help me, they just trying to manipulate me. Something I use to avoid that, I think about like, okay, if they gatekeeping or if I feel like they gatekeeping, I'm a steer clear of them. But then on the other side of that, I feel like the game is to be sold, not told. So gatekeeping is kind of a part of it.
yeah.
And you being in the position that you are, how do you feel like that? Like gatekeeping versus the game is to be sold, not told.
I commented on a post about this today. This girl was talking about how the black community, you know, we just manipulate each other and we gatekeep everything and blah, blah, blah. I have done free events at my office and nobody showed up. Like, and we got me, T, Adrian, Dre, Greg, like the hitters.
Millions of dollars worth of game.
And nobody shows up. And it's in the summertime. We did a summer madness something. It was like June and July. So it's not raining. It's not cold. Like there's no reason why you can't come get this free game.
Right.
Nobody showed up. We had a few people showed up, but nobody really showed up. When you pay attention. And even with Rich Credit Academy, I don't do consultation calls. You can't pay me to get on the phone with somebody. I have enough social proof out there that says this girl's gonna do what she says she's gonna do. I'm gonna get on a Zoom call with you on Mondays. I'm getting on a Zoom call with you on Tuesdays. I'm gonna talk to you, but I'm not gonna talk to you until you spend money. Yeah. I need to know that you're serious.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Because when it's free, it's no commitment for real. And if you're not willing to commit nothing, you're not serious. When you're willing to pay that bag, you committed.
Yeah, when you pay attention. I like that.
It's been people talking to me in my inbox since 2019. Still don't have that credit fixed in 2025. Because you just want to ask me a million questions. You think I'm really going to get on the phone with you? And I'm making over $100,000 a month?
People be wanting to feel associated or like be next to the success, but they don't really want to do what it take to be the success they sell. Like people be satisfied with being next to that person, which is sad for real.
Which is sad, yeah. And then you have some people who they're dealing with depression or they're dealing with anxiety, and there's a mental block that's stopping them from accumulating wealth. Mm-hmm. So they just can't. Like sometimes you can be down so low and so bad that you can't even look at your finances. You don't even want to create a budget because you just know, like, you just already know I'm already barely making it. I don't want to look at it. But that's hindering the next level.
And
so
it's
that's
ignoring
why
the problem.
The mindset calls are so important because I have to get you to believe that you can do it. Mm. You know what I'm saying? No matter what your situation.
That's the first step. Like how you were saying when you was, you was messed up, you was at work listening to Dave Ramsey and all that. That's one of the steps people try to skip. Is like you gotta get your head right. You gotta
seek
gotta put
the information
stuff into your mind because what you were doing right now is not working. Yep. And it's for a reason because you don't got nothing to go off of.
And that stage right there is, you know what you looking for at that point. Like I'm listening to them because they got what I need, which is financial literacy or 10,000 in a bank or good credit or what. Like that's when you start. When people back against the wall, it's crunch time and they narrow everything down to priority, and it just show that you know what priority is. You just be trying to avoid it while you got the room for error. But when you get your back pushed to the wall, now, all right, how do I do this? How do I do? Like, you know exactly what to look for because it's crunch time now. So it just show a lot about like how people operate when they comfortable.
Yeah, and I think being comfortable is a whole nother problem.
Right.
Just like
You said like once you start doing the house stuff, you got right back into your old. So it's not even like a comfort thing, but just it is, but
And it'd be like an illusion though, because if like you had the money coming in, you feel like you're doing good, but you're not paying attention the whole time. You're not doing good.
that's why you have to have a budget. I don't care how much money you make. You need to know what is going on.
you have to know.
You have to know. And people work these jobs every single day and they get comfortable. And it's like, you look up, you done been at this job, let's just say 10 years. They may give you $1. Let's say they just give you 50 cents to $1 every year, right? And it's okay to be content, but I don't feel like there is a company that can tell me this is how much you're worth. This is how many times you can be sick. This is how many days you can go on vacation. That's not life. That's not living. And that's really what I want people to understand. If you're comfortable working your 9 to 5, you're comfortable in your job, that is okay. But you need to put yourself in a position where you don't need that job. Because if you die tomorrow, they're going to replace you. It means nothing. But what does matter is what the foundation that you've laid for yourself and for your family, for your legacy, the generational wealth. That's what really matters. So even if you're going to work a job, because entrepreneurship is not for everyone, it's hard to be entrepreneur. Every day, I compete with myself. Every single day. It's the worst because like yesterday I made like 14,000. Today I made like 200. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the life of entrepreneur.
Yeah.
That's my life.
Like, it definitely be a roller coaster.
It's like that. So, let me see if I made any more money today. Well,
Go ahead, check him out. Right. And
I've been super busy all day. Yeah, $198. So.
Oh, I thought you were saying 200
not
bands.
200,000. No.
I thought you said 200 bands.
No.
But you know how realistic that is for you.
No,
though.
it's realistic.
Yeah, so I didn't. That was completely on the table when I thought about you. I'm like, oh yeah, that's crazy though.
But so every now, like if I really wanted to, like today it's Sunday, you know what I'm saying, whatever. But like if it was like Tuesday, I would be getting to it because I'm competing with yesterday.
Now that 200, is that passive income?
Yeah.
Do you think people get to a point where they like too focused on passive income?
No, passive income is the best.
But what if that's all you worried about? Like for instance, I was talking about paying your credit off, getting the business funding, and then putting it into the high yield savings account. What if it wasn't a high yield? What if it was like something on the stock market, but that's just building over time? You know what I'm saying? You were saying earlier, like, it would be better to take that 2,500 and try to flip it instead of, try to grow it slowly over time. So, like, what's the balance there? Like,
so let's put it like this. If you're going to build wealth right now, the first thing you need to do is save $1,000 emergency fund. Put that in a high yield and just leave it there and just let it do what it do. The second thing you're going to need to do is create your budget. Well, the budget technically comes first. So you got your budget, then you get your $1,000 emergency fund, you put in a high yield savings. So now it's just gaining some interest while it's sitting there. From there, as you're working on your credit, you want to start paying off your debt. That's the next step. Debt snowball. Once you get the debt paid off, Now you want to save 3 to 6 months of all of your expenses. So if anything happens to your income, you got at least 3 months of bills put up, or you got at least 6 months of bills put up. Now, after that, of course, during this time, you want to have life insurance also. But after that, that's when you want to start putting money in the stock market and doing like the long-term investments and things like that. Now, that's just wealth building kind of, tier-wise. If your credit is good and you got the business funding, at the same time, you can be working the capital on the business side to invest so that you can be making passive money that way, which can help you get all the steps for your foundation even quicker.
I see what you're saying.
Now, with credit repair as a business or, Rich Credit Academy, because it's a coaching company, but everyone who's in the academy is on subscription. So they pay between $99 and $149 a month. So that's passive because those payments just come in every 30 days. So if one person starts on every day of the month, every day I'm going to get a payment. You see what I'm saying? But what's so dope about it is the overhead cost is very low because what am I paying for? I'm paying for Zoom. I'm paying for like my systems Excel. And I'm paying for my staff. But I mean, I don't have I don't have to be in a building. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to pay for, I don't know.
Transportation.
I don't have a lot of expenses.
Right.
So my overhead is low. So the money that I'm making is my money, essentially.
Shout out to that.
So I was gonna ask. Well, you kind of explained it in a way, but I was gonna ask so you said yesterday you had a 14K day. Today you had 200. I was gonna say, what determines these different, this discrepancy? You know what I mean? Is it the work you doing in a particular day, or is it like?
So yesterday was a passive day. So that's just payouts, honestly, from my businesses. So when you have coaching companies, right? Because Rich Credit Academy is a coaching company, but I also have a mentorship. So people pay me for that. But then, when you have real estate, you get money from that. I have the insurance company. I get money from that a couple times a month. And those are pretty large payouts. So it's just all the different things that you set up and it just pay out. Funding clearly is a big bag because anytime I get someone funded, I get 10% of that.
Right.
So
I didn't even know you do funding. I didn't know you did funding.
That's the game right there.
Where do you think everyone got the funding game
Right.
from?
Yeah. Nah, that crazy. That business model is crazy.
Yeah.
That shit crazy. Nah, y'all definitely going crazy in the city. If y'all don't know, biggest in the city, right?
Biggest in the city, right here.
City, right?
And I don't even promote funding. I just promote it within my community. I don't really post about it.
Yeah, because I know you for many other things, and I never even thought she do funding too.
But that's good branding.
Yeah.
And marketing, you supposed to know her for this.
Well, exactly. And that's a whole nother thing. Like I said, once I started losing focus of my money, it's because I was doing Turo and Airbnb and all these things. Stay in your lane.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Stay in your lane. Don't try to figure out 5 ways to make $1 million. Pick one way and make $5 million.
Mm-hmm. Right. Because a lot of people, you could be a jack of all trades and a master of none.
Master of none.
Right.
I know so many people like that. They will argue you down too.
I done been there, and I'd argue you.
And I'm gonna go home and collect my coins. I'm not about to argue about it. This is what works. That's another thing. Stop reinventing the wheel.
No cap. It been a million people before you.
Exactly.
And you about to try something new.
I literally sat and watched Dave Ramsey every single day because he already was an expert at what I was trying to do. I'm not going to go out here and be like, I'm going to figure out Ciera's method to get out of this debt. No, I'm just going to do what he did. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And in every profession, that's what they do. Exactly. Kobe did it with Mike. Young Thug did it with Wayne. Everybody just take and implement and then make it into their own. But it's first implementation, something that already worked.
Yep.
Shout out to that. I see you kept looking at your watch. I don't want to take too much.
No, you good.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, it could all be so simple. I think we overcomplicate things as a people because we don't want to learn or we don't want to take the time to figure out. But for real, all you got is time. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because you really wasting time by not doing it, and you just getting older, and things are getting worse, and the economy is the economy. So that itself should scare you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not spending no unnecessary money right now. Period. At all.
You putting yourself on the budget that you put yourself on, like when you broke it down and said, all right, I'm paying myself this. Yeah. Everything else belongs to my business. Mm-hmm. It's people on a much smaller scale that's not willing to do that. But I agree 1,000%. Like, if you can't just feel the state of the economy and where it's headed, it's not about to get no better, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's something it's like a read the room kind of thing. People can't read the room.
Nope.
People can't read the room out here. And that's really like a skill disadvantage when you can't do that. So.
And putting myself on a budget, it makes life so much easier for me because I can tell people I don't got it.
They don't be trying to hear that from you though.
Yeah, but like I'll be like, man, I get paid tomorrow. I done ran my own payroll.
Yeah. You know what's crazy?
I get paid tomorrow. I gotta pay these bills.
They made a meme around Valentine's Day, and they was like, because it was on a Friday this year, and they was like,
I was in Punta Cana on Valentine's Day.
What? I was in Columbus on Valentine's Day. I was in the bed, but nah, like they would say, all the dudes that be saying, wait till tomorrow. I got you tomorrow. You just got paid today, so it's time to. And I'm still not about to spend. I'm still not about to spend nothing on you. And I think that come with, you gotta have experience, not even experience, but you just have to operate like where you at is regular. Mm-hmm. So I'm not where I want to be. So even though where I'm at, a lot of people will want to be here, I'm still operating like I don't got it. And I'm cool with that because I know what I do got. And I know in order to keep this is how I gotta. See, people don't realize that it's almost like that. You gotta do the opposite to maintain what you got. You know what I'm saying? You gotta act like you don't got it.
Every time you get to the next level, you at the new bottom.
Mm-hmm. Damn. Bar.
Listen, that I could go on and on about that.
You at the new bottom.
But you brought up Valentine's Day. I want to bring this up just about how the system is set up for you to be broke.
I know where you go ahead.
Hey,
go ahead.
Before you get into that, right quick, because I'm with somebody, tell them I don't do Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day came. It was a little salty. But I was like, this shit set up, they trying to keep us broke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you go ahead.
Now, I'm not against Valentine's Day at all. But it is part of the setup. Mm-hmm. All right. So January, you got New Year's, right? February, you have Valentine's Day. March, you have St. Patrick's Day. April, you have Easter. May, you have Mother's Day. June, you have Father's Day. July is the 4th of July. August is back to school. Got to spend money then. September is Labor Day. So what, you cooking out? I didn't even put Memorial Day on here.
Yeah, it's a few of them. Groundhog somewhere in there.
Right. So September you got Labor Day. October you got Halloween. November you got Thanksgiving. December you got Christmas.
Yeah.
There is something set up for you to spend money in the economy every single month. That's like, and we ain't talking about birthdays.
Yeah, we ain't even sprinkling Black Friday.
Right. None of that.
None of that.
That's extra.
So when I say it's set up for you to be broke,
it literally is.
It literally is. And you have to take the power into your own hands.
And say, listen, we don't celebrate.
Motherfuckers, like it's also set up, like it's like psychological too, because now it's like you feel obligated that I gotta get you something on one of these days, or we gotta, I gotta give a Christmas present, birthday present, but I don't have to do that.
You don't have to do it, but this how they justify it too. Oh, you about to get your taxes back.
Yep.
So you can spend that money, you about to make it right, but that's how you stay in the hole. Like,
Man.
you take a step forward to take one right back. If you just gonna spend if you spending the money that you gonna make off your taxes, you're not getting no tax return. You know what I'm saying?
I'm really frustrated with tax season because you could people's tax refunds be a lot.
It do.
Especially if you got kids. Man, you could take that money and never look back. 1 year. I'm talking about, I know people getting $10,000 back, $8,000 back.
Damn, it'd be that.
Already spent too.
It be gone. It's going to be gone by, I'm gonna say April 1st.
Yeah.
If you got your money in February, by April you're gonna be broke.
Damn.
And it's because you will not take the time to understand how money works. You could take that, you could set up your life insurance policy, you could set up your $1,000 emergency fund, you could fix your credit, you could really put 3 to 6 months up. If you wanted, you can put the whole 10K up.
For real.
Or
Yeah.
you can take that money, like I said, fix your credit.
Get access to even more money.
Invest, put the rest of it in a high yield savings and just let it sit while your credit is being fixed. And then leverage your credit to become whatever it is you want to become.
It
If
could
it's
all
a
be
hair
so
salon, if it's a, I don't know, a bakery, if you want to rent out cars on tour, if you want to do Airbnb, like you could do whatever you want to do. You have access to it at tax time. But what do? We go get furniture. We go get cars that are going to break down very soon.
Flights.
Everybody's on vacation right now. And it's like, I want everyone to live a life that they enjoy.
Yeah.
But do you really just only want to enjoy your life when you get your taxes?
Right.
Or do you want to ball like forever, ever?
And people's idea of enjoying their life, because all the things that they buying is stuff that they can show other people and post.
Shoes,
Yeah, they not doing nothing really for
clothes,
like you were saying, the high yields.
$1,000 wigs.
So you could show the next person.
Like, what are we talking about?
And it don't appreciate in value. You didn't buy nothing that appreciated in value. You didn't buy nothing that is going, if they do got kids, because a lot of them that's doing that, they got kids.
They got kids and they don't do nothing for them kids.
Nothing for the kid. Could have set up his, hey, if
Man,
he
get those babies right, man. What the
But no, if you gonna be messed up, at least get bro right. He ain't about to be 18 for another. Put $1,000 to the side
The kids
for it.
are normally the last ones to get anything out of the tax money.
Which is crazy because they the reason.
When the mamas get the money, the baby dad get a piece.
La piece.
The little side piece get a piece. He get
Side
majority
piece
of
get a
the
little
piece.
piece. Them kids still be having the same, you know.
You know what's crazy? I seen a kid.
We gotta do better.
I seen a kid. I don't know where he got the money from. Probably for his birthday. I done been this kid. I done been in this exact situation. But this kid, his mom was in the car. She filming him for TikTok or whatever, Facebook. She asked for his money. She said, yeah, rent due. I don't got everything. I need some of your money. He like 8 years old. He told his mom no. And I felt so bad because I know where it come from. It come from, I seen my mom spend this money on this and that. I know, I already got this money spent. Don't worry about it, Mom. Rent is cool. And it's like, that ain't really where it should be. But they was almost antagonizing the 8-year-old for
Saying no.
yeah, and it's like,
But that's not his responsibility to pay bills at 8 years old.
Right, exactly.
We have to do better. We gotta take accountability. We gotta do better.
how you feel about that, Beyond? Cough up that little 8. You 8 years old.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like me in that situation, the 8-year-olds, I would have felt like I ain't had no choice. So I
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
how I
I would've-
felt. That's how I
yeah.
felt.
yeah.
But I would
But it's
want
still
my
not that
8-year-old.
kid's responsibility.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like in that situation, whoever the parents or the guardian is, it was their responsibility to teach them about that money. You know what I'm saying? So this is priority regardless of how much money you got. And that's a lot of what you preach.
Yeah.
So if we ain't got nowhere to stay, or if you got $10,000 in debt, it don't matter about that $10,000 in the savings. You know what I'm saying? You really ain't got 1,000 the way you think you got 1,000. So you got to kind of teach them that in order for them to understand anything else. You know what I'm saying? But that don't be priority. So it's
Ciera,
just,
how do you kind of educate your kids, or do you kind of just lead by example, or do you like physically show them like, hey, this is what we gonna do? How's that go for you?
So I have all girls. They are rotten. They are rotten. I am just now because when we was budgeting and stuff, they were very young. When I started making this money, I'm like 6 years. It's been about 6 years since I started like really, getting to it. So they just feel like money grow on trees. So I'm just now at the point where I'm like, my oldest is 18, so she understands like credit and, budgeting and finances and stuff like that. Like she saves 10% of everything she get. But the younger two just think like money grow on trees. So I'm trying to balance that with them right now because for a long time they can have whatever they want. If you want to go to Disney, we going to Disney. If you know what I mean? My daughter, like, we ain't been to Florida in like 2 years. I'm like, it's been like 6 months. And she's 7.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's all she knows, Disney.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So, and sometimes we go and we don't even go to Disney, but it's just like, that's another thing with Black people. Like, we try to overcompensate for our kids. I know I
yes.
do.
That's a fact.
All the things that I didn't have, or all the times that I felt like, oh, they were at lack because I was trying to get ahead, I was trying to budget. So now it's just kind of like,
My mom was the opposite. She was like, nope, I don't got it, nope. Figure it out.
I need to be like that.
We used to be, I knew we was broke. PS4 for Christmas.
Yeah.
Gamma 11. And I knew he was broke.
See.
I'm a geek though. You hear me? No food in the crib.
I mean, that ain't your problem at that age, though.
No cap, but I was just so ahead of where I was. I'm like, I'm not about to complain about no food because I already know what I got. You know what I'm saying? But it was just like, I did get to a point where I'm like, Mom, I don't want none of this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I would rather us be cool. I would rather you be cool. And I was there at like 14 probably.
Yeah.
And that's pretty early to be realizing like, okay, I'm getting what I want, but we ain't having what we should have.
Yeah.
So it's like, parents be feeling like that. I wish a lot of kids was like me where you give your parent a break a little bit. Like, hold on, man, you ain't got to do that.
That's hard, though, as a parent, wanting to give your kids everything that they desire. You know what I'm saying? Knowing, like...
Especially, like, when you ain't have it type shit.
And that's a sacrifice a lot of parents make, and I commend us, parents. You know what I'm saying? Because, we make it happen for our kids. And if we just took a little bit more time on the financial literacy, we could give them so much more.
Yes.
And it wouldn't be a struggle.
Right. Because it's a really like a gift and a curse. Like, I'm sure, especially single moms, because it's a lot of that going on. They probably looking at it like, okay, I'm being strong for my children, but it's also strong to let them know, hey, we got to go without this for a couple months. That takes strength, I should say.
And the kids would be better people.
Yeah, I was about to say, you can learn from that.
Right.
Yeah, the kids would be better people. I feel like the way, like, we grew up, like, it made us better. Like, although, like, our childhood wasn't the greatest, we didn't have a lot of things, it gave us that drive. I think these kids are soft these days. My daughter's soft. I'm worried. I got to continue to get my money up because I don't know if they're going to work.
That's crazy. But that
for real.
We is, and it's like we breed softness because, like I said, it takes strength to deprive yourself, but to provide for your kids. But it also takes strength to deprive your kids to provide for the family. Both of them take strength, but it's like, okay, I don't want my children to be mad at me, so I'm gonna just, or I don't. It's like that person in the family that they strung out on alcohol. You keep supplying them with alcohol because you don't want them to resent you or nothing. Like, it's going to take strength to keep seeing them going through that, but it's also going to take strength to deprive them of that. But one is going to help them and one is not. So it's like, which strong do you want to be? And I feel like we take the one where it's like, all right, I'm going to put up with it because I don't got to hear their mouth or I don't got to go through it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what breeds the softness in our
That's been
families
my
and community.
biggest downfall in life, is just being the go-to person for everybody. Because I watch people not grow because I'm enabling them.
Mm-hmm.
I literally watch it, and it hurts after some time. It's like, dang, you should be way further because you have my help. But because I'm doing everything that I'm doing, it's really like I'm crippling you.
See, that's like the double-edged sword.
It is,
Because
bro.
like you should be further because you have me here to help.
Yep.
But because I am helping you is not you're not
Right.
getting where you need to be.
You
It's
never
crazy.
think that I got to take this next step.
And that's what when I went back to, Jesus is our savior, right?
Fact.
God is your provider, not me. You have to get to that point, and people are going to be mad at you, but that's okay, because whatever lesson that that God is trying to get them to
you
learn,
gotta go through and learn.
they have to go through it. Have you ever been in a situation where you got faced in some sort of difficulty, right? I use credit as an example. Pay off a card, max it out again. Now I got to go through this all over again because I need to learn this lesson.
Yeah.
That's how life is.
Yeah.
You might have 50 relationships that it's really the same person.
Yeah. It'd be the same lesson coming
the
manifesting
same
in a different
lesson.
way. I'm going through that shit right now.
No, bro.
I don't know what the lesson
Yes.
is. I'm trying to
And it been 50 times though. Like,
But-
I done lost 50 times
But
already.
what's the example of insanity?
do it
What's the
over and
definition of
over.
insanity?
Losing 50 times.
Doing the same thing over and over again,
Yeah.
expecting different results.
For real.
Like, bruh, I can't do it no more. I'm sorry. You got to figure this lesson out
For real.
because it's hurting you and it's also hurting me at this point. So no.
And I'm glad you said, like, the Lord is your savior,
Yeah.
right? Because I can't, not only am I not your savior, but what I think may be wrong or the cause of the problem, that might not even be it.
Yeah. That's
Like
shit.
I'm looking at it like, okay, it's really this. Like, you just need to be more disciplined. You not disciplined. You be lying. You not disciplined. You feel me? You be like, it's a whole bunch wrong that I don't even see. So it's like, not only do I not have to provide for you, but I shouldn't, and you have to go figure it out on your. That's for you. That's your journey.
And you can't change anyone's mind and you can't change their heart.
They gotta do it.
Facts.
That has to happen between them and God.
Facts.
So whatever the issue is probably rooted within their mind or their heart.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing you can do about it. So that's why my favorite word of 2025 is no. No, thank you. No, I can't. No, sir. No, ma'am. No.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Just
Fact.
no. Like, I can't do it. And this is the thing. Like, if I say I'm not okay, what you gonna do about it? Nobody can help me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nobody. There's not anyone I can call and be like, yo, I need $10,000. Well, I wouldn't say there's nobody I could call, but
Like, you've gotten to that point
I'm
where
at a point where there's not
It's
a lot
not
of
a
people
lot of-
around
yeah,
me.
it's
that
like how you
could-
said, you was looking for people that had the same problem as you.
Exactly.
And it got to a point where I can't find nobody no more because I done got to this rare air. So that's a fact.
And normally, if you're the person that everyone is going to, you're the person that can't go to anyone.
Yep.
So, everyone has to learn their lessons on their own, but life has taught me so many lessons at this age. And I think that it's very important to just stay like true to who you are, stay grounded. Like, don't let anyone change you. Don't let anyone like manipulate you into doing things that you really don't want to do just because you're trying to be a people pleaser. I think people pleasing is probably one of my worst traits.
I dealt with that.
Yeah. Because it'll get you messed up.
It will.
Yeah.
You can't make everybody. You can't please everybody.
Yeah.
As
So
soon as
just
you
be the bad
realize
guy.
that.
Because
the
guess
bad
what?
guy.
Whenever you say no, you're going to be the villain in their story anyway. I sign up to be the villain these days.
Really, like,
I got time.
I don't think you even a villain, cause it's like they decided to look at you like that, a villain.
It's their
but
perspective.
It's really you doing what's in your own best interest. So if I'm just trying to protect myself, It's not an attack against you. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to hurt you. I just got to do what's right for me.
Bro, and I think people that look at you like you the villain instead of looking at you doing what's right for
Yeah,
you.
because you easily be like, oh, yeah, like, it's cool.
Yeah.
They never care for you anyway.
They thinking about they self
Yep.
only.
Yep.
I got people who've crossed me like real bad. And they go out here and sell this sob story that I did something to them.
And that's like, you damn near insane in your mind that you doing that.
It takes everything. I mean, there are days where I want to like call and spaz out. There are days where I want to go live and
Put people up blast.
Yeah.
put them on blast. Like,
Yeah.
it takes so much discipline. That's what we was talking about before we started rolling. Like, that ghetto girl that's like deep down in here that like, she be wanting to like get people to business. It's so hard to just allow people to run with their narrative and you don't say nothing. When I know that I could destroy you.
That's a level of discipline that you have to reach.
Yeah.
You gotta
So-
reach that.
And humble. That's being super humble.
Very much so. But sometimes I feel like if I get the chance to tell my story, I'm going to tell it. I don't know. But that's one of them things
I'm on both
where
sides of
people
it.
will make you the villain in their story and you did absolutely nothing to them.
It's crazy. Yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie, these cameras is about to die. So you gotta
And I was a fire one anyway though.
Can I add one more thing about
Yeah.
credit before we wrap this up?
And tell them where they could find you too.
Okay. Well, first, let me say this about credit. Do not pull your credit report and start going and calling all your collection companies to pay the creditors to fix your credit. That's not credit repair. I just want to put that out there because I feel like I just see that so much where people are like, if you want to fix your credit, just look at your credit report and call them and make a payment arrangement or settle on the debt. Don't do that. It's still going to be on your credit as a derogatory. It's not helping you.
So what is it doing? Like,
You're paying the creditor,
wait,
and
so
then it's
why
going
do
it's
people...
going to show a zero balance on your credit.
Okay, so why do people think that's the way? And then what is the real way?
Because sometimes when you're buying a house, these lenders are not credit repair experts. So they'll say, we can't sell you this house because you owe these people, so go pay them, and then we'll sell you the house. But that doesn't really fix your credit. It might get you in that house, but you just spent all this unnecessary money. I have a client that I work with who is a big entrepreneur. And she had some financial things happen. She came to me in October. She had all this stuff on her credit. She's like, what should I do? I'm like, I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to put you in a credit program. I got you. We deleted over $200,000 worth of debt off her credit report in 5 months.
Damn.
That's crazy.
If my payments are $99 a month, you pay me $500 to remove $200,000. One of them was a BMW, a $99,000 BMW repossession. So what I'm saying is, don't pay off these collections and these repos and all that stuff on your credit. Go through a credit repair company and let us remove them. So now you've spent way less money than what you would have spent calling and trying to settle with all of these people for that account to still be showing up on your credit as a derogatory with a zero balance. It don't really help you because if you want to get business funding, that got to come off.
Damn.
You can't just pay it down and be like, oh, well, it's still there. That's what I hear all the time too. I paid that off. Why is it still on there? Because they're not going to remove it just because you paid it.
That's crazy.
I'm
So
gonna
if
be
you
in contact
pay
with
it-
you about that situation
Okay.
specifically.
Yeah.
If you pay or get it removed, do you still gotta pay it?
So if you get it removed, sometimes you may still have to pay it. Like, let's say you have a Chase account and you want to do business with Chase again. Whenever you go to try to do business with them, they're going to be like, hey, you owe us.
Pour that card on.
Exactly. So that's a situation. With student loans, of course, they're federal, so you got to pay those regardless. Outside of that, no.
I'm telling you, that exact situation, I could use
Yeah.
whatever game that is.
That's
for
why I
sure.
want to throw that out there because so many people get their taxes and they go pay off all these debts trying to fix their credit. When it's like and don't do debt consolidation. That's another one that I see ruin everybody.
Offer, you shouldn't do that because I've definitely been thinking about
You
doing
been
that.
thinking about debt consolidation?
Like, yeah. Don't do
A
that.
debt consolidation loan
Yeah.
or having someone consolidate your debts?
Loan.
Okay, that's two different things.
Okay.
Yeah. But there are companies out there who's like, hey, call us and we'll negotiate all your debts and blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, these people got late payments because they stopped paying it so they can start the negotiation process. So now your credit is really dropping. And now you have these late payments that are going to be stuck on your credit. It's a mess. It's so
Where can
much.
they
I'm about to
find
say,
you
they
at?
need you because your credit game gets sticky, boy.
I'm Credit Lady C on Instagram.
Credit Lady
And
C.
Rich Credit Academy Facebook group on Facebook.
Yes, ma'am. Y'all know where to find her.
Hey, shout out everybody tuning in. Make sure y'all tapping in with the network. Shout out Big C, biggest in the city, man.
Biggest
right here
in the
on
city,
STB
man.
Network.
We appreciate you for sure.
Thank y'all for having me.
Mm-hmm.